The time is 1:58. Bang! Everybody nearby, here's the sound of a gunshot. JT has now taken that firearm, pointed it at Abby, and pulled the trigger.
Ready to go. Stay ready. Don't get ready, baby.
Welcome to Stay Ready News, where my word goes and there's nothing to talk about. This is Abby Zwerner. She was actually shot by a 6-year-old. You heard it, a 6-year-old. She asked for $40 million, but she only got 10. Yes, she won her case. She didn't sue the school. She didn't sue the district. She sued the assistant principal, Dr. Parker, for repeatedly not taking any action when multiple people warned her this child may have a gun, may have brought a gun to school. First, we're going to hear from the school guidance counselor. She's going to break down all the events that day. And then we'll hear from the prosecutor, who will also go through the chain of events from that day. Check it out.
People are picking on my friend. R. I don't know if I could say his name, but anyway.
Yes, don't say any minor names, thank you.
They won't let you say minors' names a lot of times in the media and stuff like that, so you don't ruin the rest of their life or something in the case. Even though he shot somebody, they're not going to let him say her name. So she's going to say R when she's talking about the friend, and then she'll use initials when she's talking about the actual 6-year-old that shot somebody.
Thank you. So he was picking on my friend R, and I was thinking to myself, ooh, you have a little friend already. But he said people are picking on him. So I told him, I said, well, let me tell you how school works. If R has a problem, he can tell his teacher, he could come tell me, he could go tell anybody. If you have a problem, you can tell me, you can tell Ms. Zwerner.
Right there. That's literally the job of the guidance counselor, to sit there and be the first line of defense when children have issues, to be able to talk them through them and walk them through them and things like that. It's something that the teachers may not be able to take their time away from the classroom to actually see to at times.
Ms. Zwerner, you can tell an adult. And so I said, you know, we have to worry about ourselves. And so he's sitting there, and I said again, do you have a gun in that bag? And he said,
hold on. I said again, do you have a gun in that bag? Now, mind you, she's talking to a 6-year-old. I don't know why I don't just grab the bag and check it, because that's what I'm going to do. But maybe that's against the rules. Maybe she's worried about getting fired or something like that. I'm not sure. But we're talking about a gun.
no one is getting that bag. And I was like, okay. Then Ms. Zwerner.
You ask him, do you have a gun in that bag? And he repeats to you and says, nobody's getting that bag. That doesn't tell you there's something in there. I don't know if it's a gun, but there's something in the bag that he doesn't want you to know. And don't forget, he's 6.
And then Ms. Zwerner called them to the carpet. He came. I came and sat right next to him. Again, the board is in the front. He sat on the corner here. I sat next to him, and he was facing that bag.
Nobody's getting. Do you have a gun in that bag? No real answer. Nobody's getting that bag. You go sit on the carpet for whatever time, story time, whatever you guys are doing. He sits there, but he's facing the bag.
So we did the lesson, and he was still sitting there, and then he started telling me, he said, we did the lesson, and he was still sitting there, and then he started telling me, he said, I got new shoes on, red and black Nikes. And I was like, oh, I like those. He said, but I have to go change my shoes at lunchtime because these are new. And I was like, oh.
Why did he say that? Was he worried about getting blood on the shoes? The little dude had a plan, man.
Oh, okay. And I was like, okay. So we did the lesson. Ms. Zwerner got up and modeled what they were doing, and she told him what they need. He said, I need scissors and a pencil. I was like, buddy, you're not getting any scissors, because heaven knows what he would do with those. I said,
you won't grab his bag, and he's so dangerous that you won't give him scissors. Get the bag.
Lesson did not require any, scissors. So then I went to Ms. Zwerner.
Yes, and Ms. Kovac, let me just ask, as you're describing this, so at some point you do speak to Ms. Zwerner.
Yes, right then,
and
afterwards.
Do you tell her that you're going to go see Dr. Parker?
Yes. Well, I told her, what I told her first was, I asked her when recess was. She said in 10 minutes. I said, okay, I'm going to go, and I'll come back in 10 minutes to check the bag. But at that point...
So wait a minute. You're telling me that you have to wait till the kid is out of the room on recess to sneak and check the bag. This is a 6-year-old. What are you worried about? Insane.
As soon as I left, I went and reported to Dr. Parker that the girls had reported to me that there was a possible gun. I went and sat with him. I talked with him. I told her what I had done.
And let me pause you before we get into exactly what you told Dr. Parker. So before you go down to Dr. Parker's office, do you tell Abby that there's a concern about something at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so wait. So now Dr. Parker knows, that's the assistant principal. Abby Warner knows, that's the teacher. And the guidance counselor knows. Multiple reports, there may be a gun.
And you advise her that you're going to find Dr. Parker and talk to her.
Yes.
Okay. And then did you tell Abby to keep an eye on him until you came back?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So now walk the jury through. At this point, you're going back down to Dr. Parker's office. Is she still sitting at her desk?
Yes.
Okay. What do you tell her at that time?
So at that time, I go up to her and I tell her that the girls reported about a gun, that I was in there. He would not give me the bag. He was not.
Stop. What do you mean he would not give you the bag? You don't have to ask for the bag. You don't need to hang your bag up. Boom, go check it. He's 6 years old. What do you mean he won't give you the bag?
Normal. And so I told her that when Abby's going out to recess in like 10 minutes, that I would be back to check the bag.
Sneak and check it.
And so then, Ms. Kovac, did Dr. Parker respond to you or give you any direction?
She just kind of nodded and acknowledged that that was what I was going to do.
Okay.
So the principal's currently at the desk, and in her response to her telling her that she's going to do that, it's just a nod. Okay. You're more busy than this? This seems like it would be priority one to me, but, you know, maybe she has something else going on.
You let her know, I'm going to check the backpack.
Yes.
And she didn't, she nodded her head.
Yes.
Okay.
Even at this point, if there is a gun in the bag's unattended. Like if the kids are outside on recess and you're in the principal's office and the bag is in the classroom, there's still this is nonsense.
Is where.
Do you then go directly back to check the backpack?
No, because I was now waiting, for them to go to recess.
scared.
So
I'm scared of
I
the 6-year-old.
left her office, was heading back down to my office. When I got to my office, I looked at my cell phone. Abby had texted me and said that they were now outside, but he had gone to his book bag and took something out of his book bag and put it in his jacket pocket.
You can't write that. You can't make this up. So there's a gun warning of the bag. You get reports that he put something in his pocket. You don't check his jacket pocket? Like how much movement is the gun? And also she told her to watch him and keep an eye on him. How did he get something from the bag into his jacket pocket when that's the only kid you're worried about having a gun right now without seeing him do it? Every step, every movement that he made from the warning should have been watched.
I hear that, I go right to Abby's room and I'm checking that bag. Because again, he was acting really weird, and I checked that bag and I knew it wouldn't be there because Abby pretty much told me something he put into his jacket pocket.
So why didn't she text Abby back and say, check his pocket and see what that is? There's just a lot of blame here.
So at that time, you've searched the bag yourself.
Yes.
Do you then go back to Dr. Parker's office?
Yes, I do.
And is Dr. Parker still sitting at her desk in her office at that time?
Yes, she is.
Is there anyone else in her office?
Not that I recall.
Okay. What do you tell Dr. Parker at this time?
So again, I tell her that I went and checked the bag. I told her just what I said to you all, what was in the bag. And then I also tell her that Abby texted me that they were out at recess, that he took something from the bag and he put it in his pocket.
Did you tell her you thought it could be a gun?
I told her that I reported that it was a gun. The whole time I assumed she thought it was a gun because that's what the girls reported, and I went and reported to her.
And what did she say in response to you when you said he put it in his pocket?
She did say that, he has little pockets, and I said he put it in his jacket pocket.
So the assistant principal's response is, there's no way he put a gun in his pocket. He has little pockets. Still not getting up from the desk. Still not going to see what's going on. Still not investigating. Nobody's checking the jacket pocket. Insane.
I was kind of mad, and I walked away because I have testing. So I went down and went outside to check on Abby and to check on JT to see if he would come to me. At that time, when I get out there, talk to Abby, she said she overheard R or you heard Jay, she overheard R say, keep your hands in your pocket. Don't take your hands out of your pocket.
Another red flag. His best friend or friend that he's protecting that day told him, keep your hands in your pockets, don't take your hands out your pockets. Because he's trying to make sure he doesn't get in trouble for having a gun. Come on, it's too many red flags.
Back in and tell Dr. Parker about that, what you saw the encounter on the playground?
So, yes, I told her that. I also...
And let me ask you, Ms. Kovacs, so you tell her that. At that point, do you stress to her that you feel like there's something in his pocket, that he has a jacket on?
Yes, I do. I feel like he did something. He took something... There's something.
And you weren't wavering in your statement to her that you thought he had something that was concerning that could be a gun?
Correct.
And when you go to testing, do you let Dr. Parker know, I'm going to testing, and Dr. Parker says, okay, and does she respond to you? Do you feel like at that point she's going to deal with the situation while you go to testing?
Well, I felt like the whole time she would have dealt with the situation. She was sitting right there by her phone.
So did you think she was dealing with the situation?
I did until nothing happened when
at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, nothing had happened up to that point. You know what I mean? And then I did have state testing. So she is my boss. You know, I went and did state testing.
And when?
How is state testing more important than a violent threat? Like, there's no way we can step away from this absolute threat that we're working on to go handle our testing responsibilities. You can't test nothing if you dead, dummy. Okay, so that's all the testimony there from the guidance counselor. Now we're going to hear from the defense attorney.
Drops him off. You may be wondering why JT got to school at 10:30 that day. You'll probably hear that he was on a modified schedule because JT had some behavior problems. He was also coming back to school that day from a suspension, where 2 days prior, JT had a violent episode where he took Miss Werner's phone and slammed it.
This is 2 days prior. So 2 days later, when she's talking about the gun and everything like that, that should go off a little bit more of a red flag. You know what kind of student you're dealing with.
So now, the time is 1:58. Bang! Everybody nearby, here's the sound of a gunshot. JT has now taken that firearm, pointed it at Abby, and pulled the trigger.
So to me, this is obviously 100% preventable. I feel like the teacher must have been under some sort of restraints from the rule book or code of conduct from the school to where she couldn't just check the bag or check the child's pocket. Or maybe she was just scared, I'm not sure. But when you're dealing with a 6-year-old, you got multiple threats of a gun being present, it seems to me like it's a no-brainer to just simply check and quit waiting for the head nod and the approval and running special ops and trying to wait till he's outside and trying to get him to come over to you sneakily. Just check it. He's not stronger than you. It is what it is. And if you're wrong, yeah, you're going to be reprimanded, I'm sure. But come on, we have multiple threats of a gun. I would like to see you reprimand me for that, for actually checking this child to make sure we're all going to stay alive. Let me ask you this. Did Abby win or lose in this scenario? You know, teacher, she's probably making $60,000 to $80,000, depending on the, you know, where you're located at and everything like that. She got shot. She had to go through multiple surgeries. The bullet went through her hand, then hit her in her chest. So she definitely was at risk of dying and everything like that. But she lived. She asked for $40 million. She got 10. Let me give you guys updates on everything else that happened. The mother went to jail for child endangerment. The child was not in any trouble because they said he did not know the consequences of his actions and he won't understand the court and judicial system as far as his punishment. So they don't do anything with the child as far as court goes like that. Abby, she won her $10 million. She asked for 40. She got 10. And of course, the assistant principal is who owes the $10 million. Don't know where she's supposed to get $10 million from. On the high end, she probably makes $100,000 a year. So I don't know where that money is supposed to actually come from. Maybe she has to sell her house. I don't know. But nonetheless, she was the one sued. So I'm sure she's going to lose her job. And she also owes the $10 million. They had that show too. Are you smarter than a 6th grader? Are you more gangster than a 6-year-old?
Ready to go. Stay ready. Don't get ready, baby.